Right, one more video before I head out of this beautiful cemetery in Brunswick, Maine. Over here, we are at the resting space, or place of a couple World War veterans. Now, just to give a little bit of nitpicking to history, because I do this quite often, and it really doesn't make a difference when you guys say it, but it's just something I like to correct people for fun. There was never such a thing as the name World War I. They never expected a second. It was the World War, the Great War, the end all wars. That's why a lot of times when you see the markers on the headstones and everything, it just says World War. Again, they weren't expecting a sequel to it. No one ever saw the second one coming. As brutal as that was, it wasn't something where it was like our movies, they were hoping for a sequel. So, just keep that fact in mind. I gave you some of the names of the conflict. Like I said, it's the war to end all wars, the Great War. England had a couple other names for it as well. Of course, World War, but in history books, especially in school, they like to call it World War I. And yeah, it was the first, I guess, authentic world war, but it definitely wasn't called World War I. And to give you guys a little tidbit and a little enclosure, the American Revolutionary War was very close to becoming the first world war. When you think of all the nations that were included in that, when you have everything from Germany, France, the Americas, of course England, Ireland. So many nations from around Europe were involved in that. So it was very close to becoming a world war. It's kind of cool how I left it off at Ireland, and I don't make this stuff up. I'm over here at an Irish Brigade's marker. So a lot of these folks that served in the wars, they're Irish. Not all from, obviously, the American Civil War. It looks like a lot of these were World War Irish folks here. They're very young, and then some of them are even younger. But it's kind of cool to see that marker. Again, I highly recommend visiting this cemetery in Brunswick because it's got a lot of veterans inside of here, and it is gorgeous. The care that's taken into this cemetery is breathtaking. You don't really see this a lot from where I'm originally from. A lot of the older cemeteries are in ruins. This one is in really good shape. They even had, I thought it was kind of a funny fact, they had a water spigot in here, so they're obviously watering the grass, and they're doing a really good job of mowing it and maintaining the areas. And the thing that's kind of impressive about that is I explained this before to you guys, that a lot of times in other countries, if you do not pay for the upkeep of a cemetery, they don't have to do it. They don't have to mow it. They don't have to clean around your headstones. And if your family passes away and they don't have the money or anything to keep up with the uptake of that plot, in all reality, they can uproot you and move you into a pauper's grave. But America doesn't seem to do that too often. Not anymore. I mean, they did in the earlier days, but not anymore. We kind of like to respect and honor our dead, unlike some of the jokers that like to push this stuff over and graffiti this. There's a special place, where for you when you're done for doing such stuff. And I always like to think that when you desecrate or mess with someone's marker, well, maybe, just maybe, when they're upstairs or floating around, they're granted the permission to come down and mess with you afterwards. You get what you deserve. Rendrack, Selak out. I got plenty more footage coming. I'm going to upload these 2 videos now to YouTube, so you guys can get them bright and early, just as early as I was up recording them. But I got to head out and find some cheap breakfast because my engine is on low, and I don't tend to eat at McDonald's anymore, although that's around the corner. That stuff is junk, and that's going to end up putting me in here a little earlier than I want to. Now, granted, we're all going to end up here eventually, but I got a couple more years left in this old gas tank, and it's not rusted out yet. So, Rendrag Selak, and I will continue my adventures in Maine later on today.